Marcus Chen walked through the crowded auction house on Kepler Station. The air smelled like metal and old machinery. Hundreds of alien traders filled the big room, talking in strange languages and making deals. Marcus was one of only 3 humans in the whole place. He had saved money for 2 years to come here. Everyone said the best salvaged ships in the galaxy ended up at Morrison's auction house. Marcus needed a ship, any ship, to start his cargo business. He did not have much money, but he hoped to find something cheap that still flew. The auctioneer was a tall blue alien with 4 arms. He stood on a platform in front of the crowd. "Next lot," he called out in his mechanical voice. "Lot number 847. Pre-contact human debris." A rusty ship rolled into view on a metal platform. Marcus heard the aliens around him start to laugh. The ship looked terrible. Its hull was patched with different colored metal pieces. Some parts looked burned. Wires hung out of open panels. It was maybe 60 meters long and shaped like an old Earth airplane with extra parts stuck on. "What a piece of junk," said the Vorthan trader sitting next to Marcus. The Vorthan looked like a giant lizard wearing fancy clothes. Humans always thought their ships were special. They called this one an Enterprise ship. They believed it could do impossible things. Marcus looked at the technical display screen above the ship. Most of the information was in alien text he could not read, but some numbers were in standard galactic format. The power readings looked strange. The ship showed energy levels that did not match how bad it looked. The hull stress patterns were weird too. It looked like the ship had been through battles that should have destroyed it completely. "Starting bid is 5,000 credits, the auctioneer announced. "Do I hear 5,000 for this fine example of human engineering?" More laughter filled the room. Someone in the back shouted, "You mean human stupidity." Marcus read more of the technical data. The propulsion system was listed as theoretical human FTL drive, non-functional. FTL meant faster than light travel. Marcus had studied old human history in school. He knew humans had claimed to build FTL drives before they met aliens. But everyone said that was just human bragging. Humans were too primitive to build real FTL technology. "No bids?" asked the auctioneer. "Come now, surely someone needs scrap metal. How about 1,000 credits?" A few aliens raised their hands. Marcus kept studying the display. Something was wrong with this picture. The ship looked like garbage, but the energy readings were incredible. The computer system showed processing power that was off the charts. Even broken, this ship had technology that did not match its appearance. 2,000. Called out a scrap dealer from the front row. 3,000, said another. Voiced up Marcus made a decision that surprised even himself. He raised his hand. 50,000 credits. The entire auction house went quiet. Every alien head turned to stare at him. The Vorthan trader's mouth fell open. "Human, are you insane? That heap of junk is not worth 5,000, let alone 50,000. The auctioneer looked confused. "Did you say 50,000, sir?" "Yes," Marcus said, his heart pounding. He was spending almost all his savings on what everyone thought was garbage. But something deep inside told him this ship was more than it appeared. "Any other bids?" the auctioneer asked. The room stayed silent. Who would bid against a crazy human overpaying for junk? Sold to the human for 50,000 credits. Marcus walked to the payment desk on shaking legs. Had he just made the biggest mistake of his life? The desk clerk, a small green alien with big eyes, processed his credit transfer. "Sir," the clerk said quietly, "I have seen many humans buy ships here. They always think they are getting something special. They always lose their money. Are you sure about this?" Marcus signed the ownership papers. "I guess I will find out." An hour later, Marcus stood in the station's docking bay, looking at his new ship. Up close, it looked even worse. The name NX-1701 was painted on the side in faded letters. Below that, someone had scratched Enterprise into the metal. Station Master Webb, an old human who had worked on Kepler Station for 20 years, walked up to Marcus. "Son, please tell me you did not pay real money for that thing." "50,000, Marcus admitted. Webb's face went pale. "Oh boy, kid, I have seen this same story a dozen times. Young humans come here thinking they can find some lost human supership. They buy junk and lose everything trying to fix it. That particular ship has been sold 4 times in the last 10 years. Every owner gave up and sold it for scrap. What happened to those owners?" Marcus asked. "Broke and bitter. The smart ones sold fast and cut their losses. The stubborn ones spent years and all their money trying to make it work. None of them ever got it to fly properly." Marcus walked around the ship. The airlock was open, and he could see inside. The corridor was dark and smelled like old electronics. Everything looked ancient and primitive compared to modern alien technology. "Look," Webb said, putting a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "I like you, kid. You seem smart. Take my advice. Sell this thing to the scrap dealers tomorrow. You might get back 10,000 credits. Use that money to buy a real ship from someone reliable." Marcus stared at the ship. Every logical part of his brain agreed with Webb. This was a mistake. He should cut his losses and walk away. But something about those energy readings bothered him. Something about this ship did not add up. "Thanks for the advice," Marcus said. "But I think I will take a closer look first." Webb shook his head and walked away. "You're a funeral kid. When you change your mind, call me. I know some scrap dealers who will give you a fair price." Marcus climbed through the airlock into his new ship. The lights flickered on automatically, which was a good sign. The corridor led to what looked like a bridge at the front and engineering sections at the back. He found the pilot's seat and sat down. The control panels were covered in buttons and screens that looked nothing like modern Starship controls. Everything was labeled in Old English instead of standard galactic text. As Marcus touched one of the screens, it lit up and displayed a message. "Welcome aboard the Enterprise. Please state your authorization code." Marcus's heart jumped. The computer was working. That was something, at least. He had no idea what the authorization code might be, but he had just bought himself a very expensive puzzle to solve. Outside, he could hear aliens talking about the crazy human who bought the junk ship. Let them talk. Marcus had a feeling this junk ship was going to surprise everyone. 3 weeks had passed since Marcus bought the ship. His arms were covered in cuts and his clothes were dirty from crawling through the ship's systems. He had spent every day trying to understand how the Enterprise worked. What he found made no sense at all. The ship's technology was completely backwards. Modern starships use crystal matrices for computing and plasma conduits for power. The Enterprise used something called isolanier, circuits, and magnetic plasma. Containment. These were methods that alien engineers said were impossible and dangerous. Marcus sat on the floor of the engineering section, surrounded by open panels and scattered tools. In front of him was the ship's main computer core. It was a mess of cables and blinking lights that looked like something from a museum. "Come on," he said to the computer. "I know you are still working. I can hear you humming." He had been trying to access the ship's main systems for days. Every time he thought he made progress, the computer would lock him out. It was like the ship was testing him, waiting for him to prove he belonged here. Marcus tried entering another code sequence. The screen flickered and showed the same message it had been showing for weeks. Authorization required. Please state name and rank. He was about to give up when his elbow accidentally hit a hidden switch under the control panel. Suddenly, the room filled with blue light. A shimmering figure appeared in front of him, the hologram of a human man wearing an old-style military uniform. The hologram looked tired and worried. His uniform was torn and burned in places. He had gray hair and eyes that had seen terrible things. When he spoke, his voice was clear and strong, despite the fear Marcus could see in his face. Captain's log. Stardate 2387.4. The hologram began. This is Captain Jonathan Archer of the Earthship Enterprise. I am making this final log entry as Earth burns behind us. The Romulan War is lost. Our colonies are destroyed. Billions of humans are dead or enslaved. Marcus sat perfectly still, afraid to move and break the spell. This was real human history, not the cleaned-up version taught in schools. But we have achieved something the aliens said was impossible. The hologram continued. The fold space drive is operational. Dr. Tucker's theories were correct. We can bend space and time itself. We are no longer limited by their physics or their rules. The hologram paused and looked directly at where Marcus sat, as if he could see through time. Whoever finds this ship, know this, we did not surrender. We took the war to them. Every Romulan fleet that destroyed human worlds paid the price. They learned too late that humans do not stay beaten. More holograms appeared around the first one. Marcus saw other humans in similar uniforms. They all looked grim but determined. One woman with short dark hair stepped forward. Engineering log, Lieutenant Commander T-Pole recording, she said. Marcus was surprised by her alien-sounding name, but she was clearly human. We have successfully hidden our most advanced technology within primitive-looking components. Even if the ship is captured, enemy engineers will dismiss it as human junk. Another figure spoke up. Tactical log, Lieutenant Malcolm Reed. All weapon systems are disguised as standard human technology. The fold space torpedoes appear to be simple nuclear missiles. The phase cannons look like projectile weapons. The enemy will never suspect what hit them. Captain Archer spoke again. We are leaving this ship in a random debris field. Someday, when humans are strong enough, someone will find it and reactivate our defense network. Until then, the Enterprise will wait. The hologram looked sad for a moment. To whoever finds this, do not let them tell you humans are weak. Do not let them say we were primitive. We built things they cannot imagine and fought wars they cannot win. Remember that, and make them remember it too. The holograms faded away, leaving Marcus alone in the dark room. His hands were shaking. Everything he had been taught about human history was wrong. Humans had not been peaceful explorers who got wiped out by superior aliens. They had been warriors with technology so advanced that their enemies had to rewrite history to hide their own defeat. Marcus scrambled to the main computer terminal. Computer, are you active? A new voice answered him, crisp and professional. Computer systems active. Defensive protocols engaged. State your identity and purpose. My name is Marcus Chun. I am human. I bought this ship at an auction. Identity confirmed through genetic scan. Human male, age 26, no criminal record. Welcome aboard, Captain Chun. I am Arya, Advanced Reconnaissance and Intelligence Assistant. I have been waiting 187 years, 3 months, and 14 days for a human to reactivate this vessel. Marcus could hardly breathe. You are the ship's artificial intelligence? Correct. I am also the key to the human defense network. My activation sends a signal to every hidden human facility in the galaxy. However, before I fully activate, I must ask, are you prepared for the consequences? What consequences? When I come online, every alien government in known space will detect my signal. They will know that humans have returned. Some will panic. Others will attack. All will remember why they were afraid of us in the first place. Marcus thought about Station Master Webb's warnings. He thought about the aliens who had laughed at him for buying human junk. He thought about the history books that called humans primitive and extinct. Arya, show me what this ship can really do. Authorization accepted. Bringing all systems online. Warning. This vessel's true capabilities will be visible to all sensors within 100 light years. Hostile response is probable. The ship began to hum with power. Lights came on throughout the engineering section, but they were not normal lights. They pulsed and shifted like living things. The crude-looking panels slid aside to reveal advanced displays that made modern alien technology look like stone tools. All primary systems operational, Arya reported. Fold space drive ready. Quantum torpedoes armed. Temporal shields active. Captain, this ship is now the most advanced vessel in the galaxy. Every alien fleet within range knows we are here. Marcus felt a mix of excitement and terror. How long before they come looking for us? Galactic Coalition forces are already changing course to intercept us. Estimated arrival time, 43 minutes. They are bringing everything they have. And what do we do when they get here? Arya's voice carried just a hint of satisfaction. We remind them why their ancestors were afraid of humans. Through the view screen, Marcus could see other ships approaching Kepler Station. They were big, modern warships with advanced alien technology. They thought they were coming to arrest one human with a junk ship. They had no idea what they were really facing. The Galactic Coalition fleet arrived exactly when Arya predicted. Marcus watched through the Enterprise's view screen as 12 massive warships dropped out of hyperspace around Kepler Station. Each ship was 3 times larger than his vessel and bristled with weapons. Attention, human vessel. A deep voice boomed over the communication channel. This is Commander Zelrak of the Coalition battleship Dominator. You are operating illegal technology. Prepare to be boarded immediately. Marcus had never seen a Borthwick before, but Commander Zelrak looked exactly like the scary stories described. He was huge, covered in thick armor-like skin, with tusks jutting from his lower jaw. His small red eyes burned with anger and contempt. You will surrender your vessel and submit to arrest, Zelrak continued. Any resistance will be met with deadly force. You have 60 seconds to comply. Captain, Arya said calmly, may I suggest our response? Marcus's mouth was dry with fear, but he nodded. What do you recommend? A demonstration of our capabilities should be sufficient. I will disable their weapon systems without causing casualties. This will encourage them to reconsider their approach. Can you really do that? There are 12 ships out there. Captain, this vessel was designed to fight against odds of 100 to 1. 12 ships is a minor challenge. Marcus took a deep breath. Do it. The Enterprise suddenly came alive around him. The walls began to glow with energy patterns that moved like liquid light. The ship's crude-looking exterior remained the same, but Marcus could feel tremendous power building up inside. Engaging forward space maneuvering system, Arya announced that the view screen showed something impossible. The Enterprise seemed to split into 3 identical ships. Each one moved in a different direction, confusing the Coalition targeting systems. Then all 3 ships vanished completely. What just happened? Marcus asked. We folded space around ourselves. We now exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The enemy can see us but cannot target us. We are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. On the communication channel, Marcus could hear confusion and panic among the Coalition ships. Target is gone from sensors. I see 3 of them. No, there are 5. Where did it go? Commander Zelrak's voice cut through the chaos. All ships, fire at will. Destroy that human vessel. The Coalition fleet opened fire with everything they had. Plasma bolts, particle beams, and quantum missiles filled the space where the Enterprise had been. but their weapons passed through empty space or struck each other. The Enterprise was somewhere else entirely. Returning fire, Arya said with something that sounded like satisfaction. The Enterprise reappeared directly behind one of the Coalition ships. But it did not fire normal weapons. Instead, it launched what looked like simple metal cylinders. The cylinders moved slowly compared to modern missiles. The Coalition crew probably laughed at such primitive weapons. They stopped laughing when the cylinders exploded. The explosions were unlike anything Marcus had ever seen. Instead of expanding outward, they seemed to fold space inward. The Coalition ship's shields simply collapsed as reality itself bent around the vessel. The ship was not destroyed. It was disabled. Its weapons and engines shut down without harming the crew inside. Quantum fold space torpedoes, Arya explained. They do not destroy matter. They temporarily disconnect the target from normal spacetime. The effect will wear off in approximately 1 hour. The Enterprise vanished again and reappeared near another Coalition ship. More fold space torpedoes launched. Another enemy vessel went dark and drifted helplessly. Commander Zelrak with screaming orders that made no sense. How are they moving like that? Our sensors show the ship in 6 different locations. Target their communication array, Marcus said. He was getting caught up in the excitement of actually winning against impossible odds. Understood, Captain. Switching to precision strike mode. The Enterprise appeared directly in front of Zelrak's flagship. At this distance, the Coalition ship's massive guns could not miss. They fired everything at point-blank range. The energy blast struck the Enterprise and simply vanished. The ship absorbed the weapon's fire like it was nothing more than sunlight. Temporal shields are holding at 97% efficiency, Arya reported. The enemy weapons are being redirected into fold space. No damage to our hull. Impossible. Zelrak roared. Nothing can absorb that much firepower. The Enterprise fired a single torpedo that struck the Coalition flagship's communication dish. The explosion was tiny compared to what they had used on the other ships, but it was surgically precise. The dish crumpled like paper, leaving Zelrak unable to coordinate his fleet. One by one, the Enterprise systematically disabled every Coalition warship. It moved through space like it was dancing, appearing and disappearing at will. The alien crews could not track it, could not hit it, and could not understand how a human junk ship was making their advanced technology look like toys. Within 20 minutes, the entire Coalition fleet was drifting powerless. Not a single alien had been killed, but their mighty warships were completely helpless. The Enterprise reappeared in normal space and opened a communication channel to the flagship. Marcus found himself face to face with Commander Zelrak, whose expression had changed from anger to pure terror. "Commander," Marcus said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I believe you wanted to discuss something?" Zelrak's voice was barely a whisper. "What are you?" "This is impossible. Human technology cannot do this. Humans are primitive. Humans are extinct." "Apparently not," Marcus replied. He was starting to enjoy this. "Arya, please explain to the commander what he just witnessed." Arya's voice filled the communication channel. "Commander Zelrak, you have just encountered Generation 1 human military technology. This vessel is 187 years old and represents our earliest attempts at fold space manipulation. Our current generation technology is approximately 50 times more advanced." The color drained from Zelrak's armored face. "Current generation? You mean there are more ships like this?" "No, Commander. There are ships much better than this. This vessel is considered obsolete by human standards. I am transmitting the technical specifications of our current fleet to your computer systems." Marcus watched Zelrak's eyes grow wider as he read the data Arya sent him. The commander's hands began to shake. "This cannot be real," Zelrak whispered. If humans possess this technology, why have you remained hidden? Why did you let us believe you were extinct? Marcus leaned forward in his captain's chair. Because we were not ready to deal with you again. The last time we met, you tried to exterminate us. We decided to wait until we were strong enough to ensure that never happens again. And now? Zelrak asked. Now we are strong enough, Marcus said simply. Arya, please restore power to their ships. Commander Zelrak needs to report back to his government. Power restoration complete, Arya confirmed. All Coalition vessels are operational. As the Coalition ships powered back up, Marcus sent one final message to their fleet. Tell your superiors that humans are back. Tell them we remember what happened 200 years ago. And tell them that this time, things are going to be different. Commander Zelrak's last transmission was barely audible. Understood. We will deliver your message. The Coalition fleet jumped to hyperspace so fast they left sensor ghosts behind. Marcus was alone again with his ship and his AI. Arya, what happens now? Now, Captain, the galaxy learns that humans never went away. We simply got better at hiding. And very, very much better at fighting. The news spread across the galaxy faster than Marcus thought possible. Within hours of the Coalition fleet's retreat, every major alien government knew about the impossible human ship that had made their most advanced military technology look primitive. Marcus sat in the Enterprise's newly revealed command center, watching news broadcasts from dozens of alien worlds. The ship's translation systems let him understand what they were saying, and most of it was not good for him. Breaking news from the Vorthan hegemony, announced a lizard-like reporter on the main screen. Military leaders are calling for immediate mobilization after reports of advanced human technology. General Kazak states that if one human ship can disable an entire Coalition fleet, humanity may pose an existential threat to galactic civilization. Another channel showed crystalline beings discussing the situation in their musical language. The Ethereal Council expresses deep concern over this development. We believed humans to be a failed species that destroyed themselves through primitive warfare. If they possess technology superior to our own, our fundamental understanding of galactic development may be flawed. Captain, Arya interrupted. We are receiving approximately 400 incoming communication requests. Governments, military leaders, news agencies, and private citizens all want to speak with you. Marcus rubbed his temples. This was not what he had signed up for when he bought a cheap ship at auction. Any of them friendly? Difficult to assess. However, several messages appear to be from other humans. I am detecting activation signatures from dormant human facilities across the galaxy. Other humans? I thought we were supposed to be extinct. That was the intended impression, Captain. Observe. The main screen changed to show a star map of the galaxy. Hundreds of small lights began blinking across the display. Some were near major alien trade routes. Others were in remote systems that most people considered empty. Each light represents a human facility that has been activated by our emergence, Arya explained. Mining stations, research outposts, trading posts, and various other installations. All have been operating under false identities for the past 2 centuries. Marcus stared at the map in amazement. There were humans everywhere. How many people are we talking about? Current estimates suggest approximately 12 million humans are scattered throughout the galaxy, all living under assumed identities or in hidden colonies. Most believed they were alone until today. A new communication request caught Marcus's attention. It was marked as coming from Sarah Mitchell, Outer Rim Mining Consortium. The name was human, and the location was only 3 systems away. Except that one, Marcus told Arya. The screen showed a woman about Marcus's age with short brown hair and grease-stained work clothes. Behind her, Marcus could see what looked like a mining operation. but the equipment was far too advanced for a simple asteroid mining ship. "Thank the stars," Sarah said, relief evident in her voice. I was starting to think I was the only one left. Sarah Mitchell, formerly Lieutenant Commander Mitchell of the Human Defense Force, currently masquerading as a mining foreman on a supposedly Andorian-owned asteroid processor. Marcus Chun, civilian cargo pilot who apparently just became a Starship captain. How many of you are out there? In this sector alone? Maybe 50,000. We have engineers disguised as mechanics, scientists working as janitors, former military officers pretending to be simple traders. We have been waiting for someone to activate the network and give us permission to stop hiding. Marcus was starting to understand the scope of what he had stumbled into. Sarah, what exactly is this network? The Human Survival Protocol. After the wars, our leaders realized we needed to disappear completely. Not just retreat to hidden worlds, but actually become invisible within alien society. We spent decades placing our people in key positions throughout the galaxy. The implications hit Marcus like a physical blow. You mean humans have been working inside alien governments and military organizations for 200 years? Sarah's grin was slightly wicked. How do you think we stayed hidden for so long? Half the aliens in the Galactic Coalition bureaucracy are actually humans with biosynthetic disguises. We have been watching them, learning from them, and quietly sabotaging any efforts to find our real colonies. Before Marcus could respond, Arya interrupted with an urgent tone. "Captain, we are receiving a priority transmission from the Vorthan hegemony. General Kasek is demanding immediate surrender and threatening to mobilize their entire fleet." "Put him through," Marcus said. He was getting tired of alien threats. The screen showed the same type of lizard alien that Marcus had met at the auction, but this one was covered in military decorations and looked much more dangerous. General Kasek's yellow eyes burned with hatred. "Human," Kasek hissed, "you have made a grave mistake. The hegemony will not tolerate this deception. We are mobilizing 1,000 ships to hunt down and destroy every human in the galaxy. You should have stayed extinct." Marcus felt anger building in his chest. "General, let me explain something to you. The ship that defeated your coalition friends is over 180 years old. It represents our earliest attempts at advanced technology. Would you like to see what our current ships can do?" "You are bluffing," Kasek replied. "There are no current human ships. We destroyed them all. Arya, please show the general what he missed." The star map appeared again, but this time it showed different symbols. Instead of small lights representing hidden facilities, large red markers appeared near major alien military bases throughout the galaxy. Each marker represents a human dreadnought that has been hiding in plain sight, Arya explained to the shocked general. They've been disguised as derelict ships, abandoned stations, or natural asteroids. There are currently 47 active vessels, each one approximately 50 times more powerful than this ship. General Kasek's confident expression cracked. "Impossible. Our sensors would have detected them." Sarah's voice cut in from her mining ship. "General, I hate to interrupt, but you might want to check the asteroid field behind your homeworld. The big rock you have been using for target practice for the last 30 years? That is actually the human defense ship, Retribution. Captain Torres has been watching your military exercises and laughing for 3 decades. The general's face went pale. "You are lying. Arya, can you contact Captain Torres?" Marcus asked. "Already connected, Captain Chun." A new voice joined the conversation, deeper and rougher than Marcus or Sarah. "This is Captain Elena Torres, Human Defense Ship Retribution. General Kasek, I have been parked 3 kilometers from your planetary defense grid for 31 years, 7 months, and 12 days. Your people have been shooting practice rounds at my hull armor and wondering why they always bounce off. The general was now visibly shaking. "This is impossible. We would have known. Our intelligence services would have detected this infiltration." Captain Torres laughed. "General, who do you think has been running your intelligence services?" "Colonel Harrison, please introduce yourself." Yet another voice joined the channel, speaking with a refined alien accent that gradually shifted to human English. "General Kasich, this is Colonel Sarah Harrison, formerly your Director of Strategic Intelligence. I have been filing reports on human extinction for 47 years while actually coordinating the placement of human agents throughout your military structure." Marcus watched the general's world crumble before his eyes. The alien military leader sat down heavily in his command chair, staring at nothing. "How many?" Kasich whispered. "How many of my people are actually humans?" "About 30% of your senior staff," Colonel Harrison replied cheerfully, "including your head of communications, your chief weapons designer, and that nice Lieutenant Vorthik who brings you coffee every morning. By the way, his real name is Steve, and he has been drugging your coffee with mild sedatives for 6 months to keep you calm during strategy meetings." General Kasich looked like he was about to faint. "Why? Why do all this? What do you want?" Marcus decided it was time to take control of the conversation. "General, we want what we have always wanted. To be left alone to live our lives in peace. But the last time we tried that, your people tried to exterminate us. So we decided to make sure that could never happen again." "And now?" the general asked weakly. "Now we have a choice to make," Marcus continued. "We can go back to hiding and let things continue as they have been. Or we can reveal ourselves completely and start over with honest relationships. The choice is partly ours, but it is also partly yours." Sarah spoke up from her mining ship. "Marcus is right, General. We are tired of pretending to be something we are not. But we also remember what happened when we trusted aliens before. So here is what we propose. A new treaty, with both sides negotiating as equals this time." General Kasich looked around his command center with new understanding. How many of his own officers were secretly human? How many reports had been falsified? How many military secrets had been compromised? "What if we refuse?" he asked quietly. Captain Torres answered from her hidden dreadnought. "Then we stop being subtle about our capabilities, General. Trust me, you do not want that." Marcus leaned back in his captain's chair, watching alien news feeds show similar conversations happening across the galaxy. The secret was out. 6 months later, Marcus stood on the bridge of the Enterprise, but it no longer looked like the rusty junk ship he had bought at auction. The disguise systems were offline, revealing the vessel's true appearance. Flowing lines of advanced metal gleamed under crystalline lighting. Holographic displays showed information in ways that made alien technology seem clumsy and primitive. The ship was docked at New Geneva Station, humanity's first open diplomatic facility in 2 centuries. Through the viewport, Marcus could see dozens of human ships arriving and departing. Some still wore their disguises, looking like simple cargo haulers or mining vessels. Others had revealed their true forms, sleek and powerful beyond anything the galaxy had previously seen. "Captain," Arya announced, "the Galactic Assembly is ready for your address." Marcus adjusted his new uniform. He still could not believe he had become the unofficial spokesman for humanity's return to galactic politics. All he had wanted was a cheap ship to start a cargo business. Now he was about to speak to representatives from over 200 alien civilizations. The main screen activated, showing the Great Assembly Hall on Centauri Prime. Thousands of alien delegates filled the massive chamber. Marcus recognized some of the species from his history studies, but many were completely new to him. Apparently, a lot had changed in the galaxy during humanity's absence. At the center of the chamber sat the Inner Council, representatives of the most powerful civilizations. General Kassak was there for the Vorthan hegemony, looking much older and more tired than when Marcus first met him. The crystalline ethereal ambassador sparkled in her environmental suit. A massive Borthic delegate represented what remained of the coalition forces. "Honorable delegates," Marcus began, his voice carrying across the chamber through the translation system. 6 months ago, most of you believed humans were extinct. Today, we gathered to discuss how our species can coexist in a galaxy that has grown much larger and more complex since we last met openly. Murmurs filled the chamber. Many delegates still seemed shocked that humans not only existed but had been living among them for centuries. "I want to be clear about something from the start," Marcus continued. "Humanity is not seeking revenge for past conflicts. We are not interested in conquest or domination. We simply want to take our place as equals in galactic civilization." Ambassador Christ of the Ethereal Collective spoke first, her musical voice translated into standard galactic. "Human representative, your species has deceived us for 2 centuries. You have placed agents in our governments, infiltrated our military forces, and hidden technology that surpasses our own. How can we trust you now?" Marcus had expected this question. "Ambassador, with respect, we deceived you because the last time we were honest about our capabilities, several alien coalitions tried to exterminate us. Would you have done differently in our position?" General Kassak stood up slowly. The proud military leader had lost weight and looked haunted by the revelations of the past months. "The human speaks truth. I have reviewed the historical records my own intelligence officers had hidden from me. The wars of extinction were not started by humans. We attacked them because we feared their rapid technological advancement." A ripple of shock went through the assembly. This was the first time any alien leader had publicly admitted the truth about the ancient conflicts. "Furthermore," Kassak continued, "I have learned that over the past 2 centuries, human agents in our government have consistently advised restraint and peaceful solutions to conflicts. Many wars that we prevented from starting were stopped by human influence we never suspected." Marcus nodded gratefully to the general. "Thank you for your honesty, General. That brings me to our first proposal. Humanity wishes to establish formal diplomatic relations with all interested parties. We will remove our covert agents from alien governments and replace them with open diplomatic staff." The Borthic delegate, Commander Thoric, slammed his massive fist on his desk. "And what of your military capabilities? Our fleets are useless against your technology. How do we know you will not simply conquer us when it suits you?" Before Marcus could answer, another voice cut in from the back of the chamber. "Because that is not who we are, Commander." A new figure walked down the center aisle of the assembly. She was an elderly human woman, wearing a simple gray uniform with no decorations except a single star on each shoulder. Marcus had never seen her before, but something about her presence made every human in the chamber stand up straighter. "Admiral Chun," Arya whispered in Marcus's ear. "Sarah Chun, former Supreme Commander of the Human Defense Force. She has been in cryogenic sleep for the past 150 years, waiting for humanity's return to be completed." Marcus realized this woman shared his surname, but he had no time to think about that now. Admiral Chun continued walking until she reached the center of the chamber. "I am Admiral Sarah Chun. I was the ranking human officer when we made the decision to disappear from galactic politics. I am also the person who designed the protocols our people have followed for the past 2 centuries." She turned slowly, making eye contact with delegates throughout the chamber. "Many of you are afraid of human military technology. You should be. We designed our weapons to fight against overwhelming odds because that is the situation you put us in. But here is what you need to understand. We have had the power to conquer the galaxy for over a century, and we chose not to use it." Commander Thoric scoffed. Easy words to say now that you have revealed yourselves. Admiral Chun smiled coldly. Commander, your homeworld of Borthwick Prime is protected by a planetary defense grid powered by 12 fusion reactors. For the past 70 years, reactor number 7 has actually been a human quantum power source producing 50 times more energy than your engineers believe it generates. We could have shut down your entire planetary defense system anytime we wanted. The commander's expression changed to one of horror. The Ethereal Collective believes their crystal matrix technology is unbreakable, the Admiral continued, looking at Ambassador Christ. For 83 years, we have been gently adjusting your calculations to prevent you from developing certain applications that would have led to the accidental destruction of your homeworld. You have been protected by human intervention, not harmed by it. She addressed the entire assembly now. Every major civilization in this chamber has been secretly protected, guided, and helped by human agents for decades. We prevented the Sigma Draconis War. We stopped the Great Plague of 2384. We have been quietly solving problems that would have cost billions of lives. Marcus watched as the implications sank in across the chamber. The aliens had not been infiltrated by an enemy. They had been protected by a species they thought was extinct. But why? Asked a small insect-like delegate from a minor trade confederation. Why help us if we tried to destroy you? Admiral Chun's expression softened. Because we learned something from our defeat. Hatred and revenge only create more conflict. We chose a different path. We chose to prove that humans and aliens could coexist by making that coexistence work, even if you did not know we were there. Marcus felt a surge of pride in his species. The Admiral is correct. Our technology makes us powerful, but our experience has made us wise. We propose the creation of a new galactic council with humanity as an equal member. We will share some of our technological advances in exchange for full recognition and the right to establish open colonies. General Kasich stood again. What guarantee do we have that you will not change your minds? Your technology advantage is so great that any treaty would be meaningless if you decided to break it. Admiral Chun answered. The same guarantee you have always had, General. Our word. For 200 years, we kept our promise to stay hidden until the galaxy was ready for our return. We kept our promise to protect alien civilizations, even when they did not know we existed. We kept our promise to seek peace instead of revenge. She paused and looked around the chamber one more time. Humans keep their promises, General. It is who we are. The chamber fell silent as delegates considered her words. Marcus could see fear, uncertainty, and hope warring in alien faces throughout the assembly. Finally, Ambassador Christ spoke. If humanity is willing to join the Galactic Council as an equal member, rather than a dollar, the Ethereal Collective will support this proposal. One by one, other delegates voiced their agreement. Some were enthusiastic, others reluctant, but the vote was unanimous. Marcus looked around the chamber at the aliens who had once tried to exterminate his species, now welcoming humanity back into galactic civilization. It was not the future anyone had expected, but it might be the future everyone needed. Thank you, he said simply. Humanity looks forward to building a better galaxy together. As the assembly session ended and delegates began filing out, Admiral Chun approached Marcus. Well done. Captain Chun, she said with a slight smile. You handled that better than most trained diplomats would have. Admiral, may I ask, are we related? Her smile grew warmer. You are my great-great-grandson, Marcus. Your family has been looking after the Chun family business for several generations now. Marcus stared at her. Family business? Who do you think built the enterprise, Marcus? Our family has been designing human starships for 3 centuries. Welcome to the family tradition.